All right, hey YouTube. It's been a while since I did a video. I've been trying to figure out what I wanted to do a video on, as well as get some life stuff in order. Had some pretty major changes going on, but yeah, back to doing videos. And first video I wanted to put out was a quick talk about priorities when it comes to firearms, gear, training, all that kind of stuff, and kind of just life in general. That's been something I've been thinking about working on for myself recently, getting my priorities in order, especially when it comes to gear. I've been watching the way the world's going and things that are happening, and realizing that there's some stuff that I need to get in place that I don't have in place and I should, to include better training and uh, more ammo, things like that on hand. Uh, I'm saying a lot. That's annoying. So, anyways, we'll jump into it. And the stuff on the cooler here is just kind of a representation of kind of what your money can go to and results of that. So, with what I have on the table here, I have some nice Safariland stuff with their I can't say the name, the quick detach system. I have a 511 pouch, 511 mag carrier, and then this old GI carrier that's been taken apart, some ESS glasses, brick of ammo, and a gun. Right? Uh, all this stuff, necessary, not necessary. That's up to you and your context. But it represents different price points. So this is a relatively actually high-end piece of gear, not necessarily in the way it functions, but the way it's made. So that costs a pretty penny. I was fortunate enough to be given that, so I didn't have to pay for it. Same with this. That's why it's my chest rig right now. I didn't have to pay for it. I had it on hand, so it didn't cost me anything. Uh, this I got for a steal. This I got for a steal. I got a good deal on this. And even the handgun. This was my first handgun I ever purchased. It's a Smith & Wesson SD9 VE with an Olight PL Mini Valkyrie on it. Love the setup. It's a great gun. It hasn't given me any issues. Literally no jams, no matter what I feed it or how I treat it. And this gun has legitimately been abused. Most of that was unintentional, just life stuff, circumstances and things like that, leading to it getting a little bit dirtier or sandier or whatever or than intended, and it just keeps running. So this was a great investment for $320 out the door, but it's not the best option. So I've upgraded since then to better handguns. With that, one of the things I want to talk about is I've built my AR-15s. Some people know that if you've watched some of my other videos, things like that. I've talked about that before. I love to build guns. It is a lot of fun for me. I'm currently building a Polymer 80 and working on my ideas for my next builds for a bolt action, for an AK, another Polymer 80, what I want to do to my M&P, what I want to do to this gun here. Yeah, my AR-10, all this stuff that just future plans um, that all take money, and making a priority list of what I feel is most important to get, and looking at it, quite honestly, I need to replace this thing. This works. This will get the job done. It won't get the job done well. It's not ideal. It doesn't retain magazines very well, but it works for now. But instead of putting money into a new gun once I finish the Polymer 80 project, because that's not functional yet. Once that's functional, the money's got to go somewhere else. I need to be more diligent with where I put the money. And one of the reasons that this is here is this stuff here is cool too. I have a weapon light on all of my guns because I feel like that's part of what makes them useful. Mostly because you can't schedule when bad things will happen. That's my opinion, everything I've seen in life. Yeah. So that's how I build my guns out. So even when doing the budget for a build, it includes It may not include a red dot, but it will include a weapon light and a set of iron sights. If there's enough money with what I'm doing, then I'll get a red dot for it. But it all goes back to the idea of priorities. And right now I'm realizing that with the way things are going, I have a good number of firearms. I need to be prioritizing ammo and gear. And then beyond that, I need to prioritize getting more training because I have some, but I don't have as much as I'd like to have. I don't think anybody has as much training as they'd like to have, but that's becoming more and more a priority for me and where I'm going to put my money. That's one of the reasons, I need more ammo because I need to be able to go take training classes that are 400 round classes without taking major hits to my stockpile. Um, Even beyond that, if you haven't realized that I'm a bit of a prepper, so I need to be stockpiling not just ammo, not just guns, not just gear, but food, water, water treatment, power, all this other kind of stuff to be what I want to be a protector, a provider, all this stuff. It's not one sided. It's not just going to work and making money to pay bills and keep a roof over your head. It's planning for the future and looking at the news and at um, current events and different things like that the things going on in your life, things going on in your friend's life, your family's life, that can be warning signs of things to come, and using that to help make a priorities list. Saving money, that's one thing, that's a great thing to do. I recently was laid off of a job and realized I hadn't put enough money aside. Um, Even ammo and food stockpiles and things like that, they're great, but if you can't support yourself day to day, they're not really worth anything if it's not an SHTF situation, WROL, whatever. That stuff's not super useful except for food stockpiles or water stockpiles, because then you just have to worry about paying the electric bill, paying the rent or the mortgage or the car payment, that kind of thing, because you have food you can live off of. You have water you can drink. Is it going to be the best food? Not necessarily. Is it going to be food you want to eat? Probably not. Will it keep you alive? Yes. Will it give you energy to take care of what you need to take care of? Yes. If you're doing your job right when you're preparing. And even for Christians, from a biblical standpoint, you can look in the Bible and there are multiple times where when bad things were coming, God sent a messenger to his people and said, hey, you need to be ready for this. You can look at the Israelites uh, in Egypt before slavery, when it was Joseph, who was second in command of Israel. He went through some really crappy situations in his life, but it put him in a position to be able to provide for his family and his families, as well as the entire nation of Egypt, because he was diligent when he heard God say, you will have 7 years of plenty and then 7 years of famine. He prepared in the 7 years of plenty for the 7 years of famine. So when times are good, don't just spend that extra money on the fun stuff. Yes, have fun. Don't live your life in a constant state of fear of what might happen. Enjoy life, but also be wise and realize that, hey, instead of going out to eat twice this week, let's go out once and let's take that extra money and let's buy some extra cases of water, some more ammo, some more food, whatever it is, because you don't know how life's going to go and what could happen. Um, there's tons of examples of that in the world. I mean, even again, going back to the Bible, Noah's Ark. Everybody knows that story. Noah was made fun of because he wasn't just out having a good time with everybody in this perfect world. He trusted the word of God that something he had never seen, never experienced was going to happen, and it was going to devastate the world, and he wanted his family to be prepared and protected according to what God had told him. So he went out of his way and did things that were unconventional, that were straight up crazy in his time. And now looking back on it, it's the reason the world still exists. And yeah, the videos kind of got a little bit more rambly than I had intended. More wanted to talk about what I was doing personally to reprioritize. Um, and how gear and things were becoming more of a priority for me, as well as getting my vehicle set up uh, or replaced or whatever I need to do to have a good vehicle, reliable vehicle, all that kind of stuff that can go where I need to go and all that kind of stuff. But it got a little bit more rambly, and yeah, but hopefully whoever watches this video to this point, you got something from this and this helped you. Um, Anybody that knows me personally knows that I take this stuff very seriously, and that providing for people I care about is a huge part of my life, and something that I'll go out of my way to do. And learning more and more of how to do that responsibly and diligently and in a manner that honors both God, myself, and them, taking care of me and my family. That's the biggest reason I get up in the morning, the biggest reason I go and do anything, is the ability to be there when people need me, um, which does mean I have to be more responsible with my time, with my money, with my resources, and making sure that I set things aside in the times that are good for when times are bad. Everybody goes through hard times. Whether that's me personally going through hard times again, coming out of this season, or um, family and friends going through hard times, but I want to be able to be there for them if I can be, as well as be there for myself if I need to be, so that I can still be there for other people. I mean, it's just the little things. Um, Quite honestly, just the ability to still have, money to keep gas in my truck so I can go help people even when I'm unemployed or whatever is going on in life. It means a lot, and it means a lot to other people when you can be there for them. So, yeah, just kind of my ramble and rant for the day. And I pray you all have a blessed day, and that God will keep you, and that He will provide for you in ways that you did not see coming today. In Jesus' name, peace, guys.